Hello and welcome to the Slackware ARM podcast. I'm Stuart Winter, the platform architect for Slackware on the ARM platform. And if you don't know what Slackware is the oldest Linux distribution that's actively developed and maintained. So therefore it's also one of the world's oldest open source projects as well. And for the project, for the PINE64 port that I've been developing, I reached out to the PINE64 company again and asked if they would send me a couple of RockPro64's that I can use for future stable releases of Slackware on the PINE64 platform. And I've received the two RockPro64's today, so I thought I'd do a little unboxing video because I haven't done one of those before and I do like unboxing the toys. So if you come over, let's get my screwdriver and just open that up there. I've been waiting a couple of weeks for these and they've just arrived from China. China? Yeah, well, need to put that a little bit more. Yeah, they get posted from China because that's where they're made, and the PINE64 company has their operations there. So let's open up. Let's have a look. Okay, so this is how they look. They come in this little box here. This is the 4 gigabyte version of it. There's another version which is the 2 gigabytes, and this is the 4. I've just asked PINE64 just for the boards because I already have I have a spare fan and what else? And power supply already. Because if you'll see on some of the other videos that I made, I've converted a couple of the RockPro64's to use ATX power supplies from old x86s that some people in the local community gave me to power them for the project. So I've got a couple of those spare already, so I only asked them for the boards. So what we're going to do in this video is I've just built the latest version of the Linux kernel, and this is an opportune moment to test it. So I'm going to test it on one of these new boards. So let's have a look at this board if you want to come over. And let's see what we've got. Can you zoom in on that? Oh, cool. There we go. Got the USB 2 ports there, a USB 3 and a Type-C USB port as well. Then the power button and the reset button. And what's that? Audio. Got a PCI, mini PCI port there as well. What's that one? SATA port, I think, if I remember rightly. Fan and some other stuff. The GPIO and Ethernet, HDMI and power. So yeah, cool. Alright, so I'm going to set up this board now based on the installation guide. So I'm just going to do it from my head. I've got the numbers of the pins written down on a whiteboard. So I'm going to take my jumper, this green one, and bridge pins 23 and 25, which will, I think it's those ones there. Yep, there we go, 23 and 25. So we bridge these two pins here, which bypasses any bootloader code that's on the flash of the board, because the first thing we're going to do is flash it with the Slackware version of the bootloader. So although before that, what I'm going to do is actually complete assembling it. So if you come over and I'll show you. So simple stuff. I'm just going to take you just push down the pin. So this is the heat transfer pad. I've already attached this. So we take this here. The heat transfer pad just helps move the heat from the CPU or the SOC where it's generated onto the heatsink. Okay, so I've connected that up, and then I'm just going to plug it into the fan port to power it, which is here. So I'm just going to connect up the fan cable for the power for it, like that. Oh, okay, you can see what I've done there. That was a mistake. I didn't plan that one out when I did it. So, okay, so we remove the fan, dead easy. Get your fingers, squish that together, push it up like that. Easy stuff, huh? Take that out. Oops. Well, actually, let's do it like that. Make sure that the heat transfer pad is good. Yeah, it is. That would be better, wouldn't it? So let's situate it like that. And again, just pop it in like that. Done. Okay. Good, it spins. Okay, I already have everything plugged in here, the power and monitor and all that kind of stuff. So I just need to turn the monitor on. So I'll connect in the HDMI cable here. And what else do we need? I can plug the network in as well. Actually, no, I won't plug the network in yet. So we just need initially to do the flashing, we need the HDMI monitor connected and we need power. So I'll power it on in a moment. When you're flashing the board, when there are USB peripherals connected, I've noticed that during the flashing process it tends to hang. So it's best to just not connect anything. Okay, for this video I've made things easy. I've got two SD cards. So this card has the U-boot or bootloader flashing image on it. So this one we'll use to flash the bootloader. And then on this one, I've written the Slackware installer. So I've already done those two steps. And I'm just using different SD cards because it's easier that way. So let's plug that in there, like that. Long way around. There we go. So I'm just going to apply the power. Most of these boards boot initially upon application of the power. So as soon as you plug the power in, the machines will boot. I do include in the instructions the suggestion that you press the power button to power it on, but usually you don't seem to need to do that. So you've got 10 seconds, so quickly turn over to here. Okay, so I'm just going to take out this here. So I need to remove this jumper because otherwise the flashing process, it actually can't find the flash on the board because it's masked out through this pin. So we need to remove that. All right, so I've removed the jumper now and the tool is erasing the current bootloader in the flash. Okay, that's done, and now it's going to write the Slackware version of the U-boot bootloader to the flash. And this takes a minute or two. Doesn't take long.
Can you hold it then?
Oh, there we go. Done. Okay, so all we need to do now is power it off. Okay, so now that's done, let's power it off as it says. Okay, so the first thing is I'm going to replace the SPI, the bootloader flash SD card with the Slackware installer one. Put that in there. Okay, next I'm going to connect in the SATA hard drive for the storage, which is connected to a USB to SATA adapter, and I'll plug that into the green, rather into the blue USB serial USB port. So I've plugged that into the blue USB port because that's the fast one. And I'm now going to connect up the keyboard to one of the USB 2 ports once I get it the right way up. That is one of the things I enjoy about USB-C actually, it doesn't have an orientation. Okay, and then I'll connect in the network as well because I want to install it over the network. And I think that's it, isn't it really? Network, HDMI, USB, and oh, that'll pop that out. Okay, so if you come back over, we've got the monitor on, and let's power it up again. All right, there we go. So the bootloader has loaded, and okay, it's switched to the SD card, and it's now loading the installer image off the SD card. Now it's loading the kernel, flatten device tree, and it's booted the kernel. Okay, the kernel's booting. Okay, so the installer's booted and we're just waiting for the network to initialize. It's already, the network's already connected, so it's just going to wait for an IP. Wait for that.
If I put my fingers on that fan, will it cut them off?
Will it cut them off? It won't cut them off. It might. It might. Yeah, it may make slight lacerations in there, but you're probably more likely to damage the fan. I've done it before actually when I've got my finger stuck, and it sort of creates little kind of cuts that you might get from a thorn or something like that. But certainly for other larger computers with much larger fans, keep your hands well out of these, out of those ones, because those will really cause damage to your fingers. But these little ones won't do too much damage. Okay, so come and have a look. We've got the Slackware installer is ready. Let's press enter to activate the console. Press 1 to select key map. I'll pick UK key map. All right, well, I'll finish off the installation in a bit. But I just want to say thank you again to PINE64 for really helping out with the project and providing 2 RockPro64's that we can use for the stable releases of Slackware ARch64 in the future. So thanks again, guys, that's really helpful. And remember to like and subscribe the channel, and I hope you are starting to get into using Slackware on the ARM platform. All right, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.